Hey everybody, and welcome to my N5 series on the SP404 mk2, where I cover a topic in about 5 minutes. Earth versus Suna writes in and asks if we can sync, or how do we go about syncing the SP404 mk2 with a loop using BPM sync to an external clock. I've got the OPXY hooked up over MIDI out to the MIDI in on the SP404 mk2, and I've got audio out from the OPXY to the audio line in on the SP404 mk2. So should be pretty simple. A lot of folks are able to do this. So if you're curious, we got 96 BPM over here. It might be a little bit hard to read through OBS, but trust me, it says 96 here. If I hold shift and hit pad 11, we can see it's got external sync. We're getting our sync from the OPXY, and that is all good. If I hit record so that we can record a loop that I've got playing over here. Right now I've got a project with a bunch of different loops, but it's just playing this one loop. This is 4 bars. So I'm noticing it says EXT, it says 96, and we have M4. I'm just gonna show you because I want to have 4 measures. So we're gonna record all 4. And if I hold shift, pad 10, I'm going to cycle through. I want it on wait mode so that as soon as we start playing, it's going to record, and we hit play. So now we're recording this. Once we're done, it's going to know that it's 96 BPM, and we shouldn't have to go do anything else to set it. If you're loading up a loop and it doesn't have the BPM set correctly, it's really important if you're going to use BPM sync, to make sure that the BPM of your pad matches. So I'm just going to turn loop on, gate off for the moment. I can push this, and it should sound fine looping. Just going to check. Sounds good. So next up, we're going to turn gate back on. We're going to turn BPM sync on. And now, if I'm on the OPXY and I drop the BPM down to 82, we can hear it is playing slower and it's pitched this sample down. So it's taking the EXT source for MIDI sync, and it is pitching it up and down appropriately. But you might not like that it's repitching this sample, because if I play any other patterns that are in the same key from the OPXY, it's going to sound out of tune, and that's probably not something that you want. So you probably want to consider going to pitch and speed, hold shift down, and instead of vinyl yes, you probably want to say no. You have a couple options. You got no with varispeed off. That will sound like this. And you're going to hear there's some artifacts. All of these have artifacts, but they generate them differently. So this is with backing. It's not too bad. It's a little warbly. I'd say ensemble sounds the best for this particular sample. So a couple things I can do now. If I mute this track and bring in the drums, if I hit play and the pad at the same time, we can hear it's playing in beat, it's maintaining the rhythm, and it's working fine. But this does require me to either play the pad in time to keep this going, and you might have a whole bunch. So depending on what you want for settings, you might want gate off, loop on, so you could just tap it, let it go. If you want things to actually play in sync from pattern mode, there is a way to do this. There's a couple ways. Let's go switch over to pattern. I'm going to go record in. Now, as I said, I'm working in 4-bar loops, so I'm going to go to 4 here. And we can see that the BPM is set to 82. Let's go to 4 bars. I'm going to hit record. Now, we've got pitch and chromatic is +1. And I'm going to show you what happens here in a second. So we're going to go sub-pad. We're going to select the pad that we want to play. If I hit remain and tap this in to actually put it, what's going to happen is, with it set to hold step last, it's going to play this and go all the way until the end of the pattern. But you're going to notice it's playing in time, but it's going to be hard to come in and get this to play in sync. So, because I have to hit start. So what I didn't want to do that. I gotta go. Sorry, I gotta do this again. Record. I'm gonna hit the pattern. 2 bars. We'll hit record. I'm gonna hold subpad and select the pattern, and then I'm going to hit remain to change hold step to last. I'm gonna just hit this. Now, we should be able to hit exit. There we go. Okay, we've now got this. So to cue this up so that the pattern will play the sample and then play those in time with a external clock, I'm just going to hold down enter and hit the pad for the pattern. And this is basically queuing it up. It's not going to play it when you push it in this manner. It just gets it ready to go. And I can now hit play. Oh, I got to turn EXT source on. But with EXT source on, we can hear it's changing the BPM. And I can go faster. And you'll hear it sometimes will get a little bit out of sync if you make a BPM change in the middle of the pattern, because it's going to kind of like scoot itself into place. But this should work for you, Earth versus Suna. So anyway, let me know if you got more questions. But all this stuff, once you kind of get things set up and working correctly, does traditionally work pretty well. I haven't had any, I mean, when it goes wrong, it can really go wrong, but when you have it set up right and get it going, it should work just fine for you. Anyway, thank you for the question. Everybody else, thanks for stopping by. Keep dropping comments in the questions, comments. Use the comments to drop questions if you got anything that you're interested in. Keep making music, keep having fun. Remember, if it sounds good, it is good. And peace.